Anthony Joshua has reached an agreement with Tyson Fury on a two-fight deal, according to Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn. The British rival champions have been holding talks over a unified world heavyweight title fight and have agreed on initial terms for the two blockbuster showdown. Joshua holds the WBA, IBF and WBO super heavyweight champion, while Fury is the WBC champion after knocking out Deontay Wilder in February. Eddie Hearn says both camps are making great progress with both boxers ready to fight one another.
It was a clean right hand.
We're making great progress. There's still a lot to overcome. We're looking at obviously venues as well, dates for that fight. We have the Dillian Whyte mandatory, which is due before that fight as well. But it's fair to say that both guys are in agreement now regarding the financial terms for that fight.
Boxing promoter Sally Fowers joins the breakfast show via Skype. Well, Fowers, isn't this coming too early for Anthony Joshua as far as the all-British heavyweight bout is concerned?
No, I think it's a perfect time if you ask me. With all the crisis going on in the world, everybody wants to see the big fights. Right away, the demand for big fights is really high all over the world. Wherever the country is. So I think it's a perfect time to keep people, intact with boxing and to, close the deal before any, something happens in between those agreements. So I think it's a perfect time, and this is going to be a very, very, very big bout. This is a big heavyweight bout. This is a fight that everybody wants to see. It's the biggest in British boxing. They just made it clear from the beginning it's a two-fight contract. So, 2021 looks like a promising time for boxing as well when things get back to normal.
Well, some share the sentiment that this will be the biggest sporting event on English soil since the year 1966 when England hosted the FIFA World Cup and won the FIFA World Cup trophy. Do you share the sentiment, the heavyweight category having two Britons, dominating that category and facing one another?
Yes, credit to Eddie Hearn, what he's done for British boxing. And obviously, Gypsy King being under Frank Warren. This is going to be a huge, huge event for British boxing and all that. It'll be very interesting to see where the venue would be because, there's a lot of rumors about Saudi Arabia being interested again. And I also heard about, the fight being held in the States instead. But if you ask me, I think it should be in the UK, in front of the UK fans. And if you remember very well, Klitschko and Joshua, when they fought in Wembley, you remember the crowd, the way the event was organized, it was huge, and Nigerians could watch and everybody around the world was watching. So it'll be interesting to see where the venue would be. But, sometimes, or most times, money talks for such big fights.
Well, before I let you go, is it too early to start talking about where the pendulum will swing? Joshua has lost once, this time to Ruiz Jr. But then Tyson Fury remains undefeated in the heavyweight category. Is it the favorite?
Yeah, I think I'll give Fury a little edge over Anthony Joshua in terms of who's favorite. But don't forget, Joshua can adapt very well. If you remember the second fight with Ruiz, he came in and fought a different style, though he can't fight that same style with a taller opponent like Fury. So it'll be interesting to see that. It's not too early to predict. I think Fury will remain Fury, and it'll be interesting to see how Joshua, comes up with a plan for this fight. I think Joshua has more thinking to do than Fury.
Well, I must say very, very thank you for indeed being a part of the show, boxing promoter Fowers.